I believe that ballroom dancing is very much unlike other dances, in that you need a partner, but not just any partner. You need a gentleman or a lady who has been prepared to be a gentleman or a lady. The gentleman's role in ballroom dancing is to be what is called the leader, in that the gentleman is the one to initiate the moves, such as an underarm turn, or a crossbody lead, or a dip. He's the one who makes the decision to do that move. The lady's role is the follower, and so it's the lady's responsibility to respond in a beautiful and elegant way. Now, this does not mean that the lady's role is any less important or a subordinate one to the gentleman. Because if the gentleman didn't have the lady, or the lady didn't have the gentleman, there would be no ballroom dancing. And so they have equal roles. I always like to tell my students that in ballroom dancing there are two rules. One, the gentleman is the leader, and number two, the ladies are always right, because they always start on their right foot. So it's just like a nice way of saying that ladies and gentlemen are equals and are the same in the eyes of God. Thank you. I learned that you can learn a lot from ballroom that can be applicable to real life. One time I was dancing with my partner and we're working together with my coach, and she turned to me and said, "Ariana, you know in ballroom dancing, you have two partners." And I'm looking in front of me at my partner, I don't only see one. And she said, "No, you have two partners. You have your physical partner, the one that you dance with, and then you have the floor." What she meant by that is that I have to be balanced on my own 2 feet, and I have to carry my own weight so that I don't impose my weight onto my partner and therefore affect his dancing in a negative way. I believe that that idea can be carried on over to real life. We can't be too dependent on the people around us. Of course we're dependent as a child, but as we get older, as we get more mature, we can't be too independent on the people around you, otherwise they'll be suffocated. And so it was kind of like you have to carry your own weight in a dignified fashion. You have to be the one that stands firmly on your own 2 feet. So that was a very interesting lesson for me to learn that I was able to carry over to real life. At the same time, we can't be too independent. In ballroom dancing, if you're too independent and you do whatever you want to do and you make the dancing about yourself, not your partner, you're not going to be dancing with someone, you're going to be using someone to make yourself look good. And that you cannot do. This is why I really love ballroom dancing, because it's about serving your partner. It's not about you. And if each partner did the same for each other, then everyone will be served and taken care of and loved and respected. So I think that's a really interesting aspect of ballroom dancing. Another interesting thing is that through dancing, I think you can learn a lot about someone's character. You know, about the way they hold the frame, the way they where they ask you for a dance, the way they commit to a step, or the way they don't commit to a step, the way they lead or follow, I think says a lot about their character. I was dancing with one young lady the other day, and I was doing the gentleman's part, so that I can show her the ladies' part. And I found it very, very difficult to dance with her because she wanted to lead herself. I would kind of raise my hand for an underarm turn, and then she would just go on and turn herself. And that's great. She was excited, she was happy, but she was assuming that she knew she knew what I would like her to do, what turn I would like her to do, what move I would like her to do. And in that way, she was making herself more important than me as the leader. And in a way, we kind of started fighting with each other a little bit because with her arms, she was doing something called back leading. It's kind of like backseat driving. You guys know how annoying that can get sometimes. But it was just interesting to me because I've known this young lady for a while, and she's very strong character, and that was translated into her dancing. Sometimes I feel that we ladies in life are a little bit too strong. We're too independent, too focused on ourselves, and what happens is that we can push people away. That happens in the context of families, in the context of marital relationships. And the same goes for gentlemen. If you're too rough on your partner, if you hold that hand too tightly, if you move that lady like as if she's just a ping pong ball, not a human being, something that's going to make you look like you're doing something really cool, it's not going to be enjoyable as a dance. You really have to make it about that other person, which is why I like ballroom dancing, as I said before. Thank you. And on the other hand, sometimes gentlemen will be too cautious when it comes to leading. They wouldn't give clear signals, and so the lady will have mixed signals and will not know how to respond properly. And so I think ballroom dancing is a great medium through which we can learn how to communicate with each other without using a word. So what we're trying to promote here at Loving Life Ministries is a culture through which we serve people, through which we are sensitive to people around us. We want to create a culture of love, of compassion, of service, and of respect. We want brothers to interact with sisters and sisters to interact with brothers in a healthy and respectful way. And I believe that instead of telling our young people what not to do, we should empower them and appreciate them and educate them and let them know that we have the faith in them, that they have the heart and they have the maturity to be responsible for their own actions. And so ballroom dancing is a good medium through which this can be accomplished. It's not the only medium in Loving Life. There are many programs in Loving Life. It's just the medium which I happen to be very passionate about, so you're hearing a lot about it from me today. So every Thursday at the Loving Life Learning Center, we have a ballroom dance social. Now, to me, that is like the kingdom of heaven right there, because the young people dress up really nicely. They prepare the room really beautifully. The lights are beautiful, and sometimes they have colored lights. They always have a wonderful table of refreshments that I know that Jatoma Gavin works really hard to make. And yeah, let's give him a hand. Let's give Jatoma a hand. And the GPA kids that live there always do such a wonderful job of welcoming guests and making sure guests are taken care of. If someone walks into the Loving Life Learning Center, they'll immediately be flocked with a lot of attention because there'll be a whole group of young people waiting to teach them how to dance so that they can be included. And ballroom dancing is great because you don't have to know how to dance in order to dance ballroom dancing. You can come as a beginner, learn a couple basic steps, but still have a really good time. You don't have to be able to do a split or a handstand or balance on one toe. You don't have to be able to do any of that. All you have to be able to do is have 2 feet. Even if you have 2 left feet, we'll give you 2 right feet. All right? And so it's a wonderful environment through which we can naturally witness. And a lot of the guests that I've spoken to, they say, oh my goodness, if only more people knew about this event right in the middle of Manhattan. How many more people can enjoy the company of young, awesome, beautiful, respectful people, learn how to ballroom dance for free, which is a big deal in Manhattan, and to be able to interact with such a lovely group of people in a lovely environment. And so that's something that I'm also very proud of.